The headline lured me in, but he's just completely missed the point. Hi, it's me again, and yeah, as I said, a headline drew me in. I thought it was going to be a good story, you know. Look at this headline, look. Dimbleby slams unfair BBC TV licence as he says system won't exist in present form. For a minute there, I thought I was on the same team as very respected Mr. Dimbleby there. Do you respect him? I don't know. Leave your comment below. But he's completely missed the point. It is a massively unfair system. It's ridiculous the fact that in this day and age, we have something as draconian as a licence for a television. Other countries laugh at us. And I know we're not the only country that has it. Many countries do. But like, you speak to an American and they laugh at you. Look at the comments. I get Americans stumble across these videos sometimes and they're peeing themselves with laughter at the fact we have a licence for television. It's ridiculous. And have a look at what Dimbleby said, and I think you'll figure out why he's missed the mark, but we'll talk about it anyway as normal. David Dimbleby hit out at the unfair TV licence fee, which currently stands at £159 a year. The former BBC heavyweight warned that the broadcaster cannot continue to exist in its present form over the next 10 years. Mr. Dimbleby said, all the arguments that are going on to make people pay £159 for having a TV, even though they don't watch it and risk being taken to the courts, is not a system that can sustain. So yeah, we're on the same team, right? Right at this point, we're still on the same team. It's ridiculous that people are being made to pay £159 a year to the BBC, even if they don't want to watch the BBC. But you can't watch anything that's been broadcast, or use BBC iPlayer, or record anything that's been broadcast without giving money to the BBC. In what world does that still make sense? And how are they still getting away with it? It's one of the biggest scams going. It's ridiculous, isn't it? I think we have to find a way of making the rich pay a bit more and the poor pay a bit less. Somehow it's got to be found. Nobody has found a way yet. They've got a committee looking at it, they're trying to change it, but I do believe that's how the BBC should be funded. It belongs to us all, and the fact that we pay for it makes it ours. That's a good system. So yeah, it's not exactly breaking news that an ex-BBC man supports the BBC. How's your pension there, Mr. Dimbleby? You claiming a nice cheeky BBC pension, are we? He's wrong. He's massively wrong. He's not at any point in there mentioned they should be funded in a different way. All he's saying is the licence fee itself at £159 a year is unfair. The rich should pay a bit more and the poorer pay a little bit less. No, you're completely wrong, Mr. Dimbleby. Completely and utterly wrong, mate. You know, ITV don't work that way. Sky channels don't work that way. You know, ITV sustains itself through advertising. Sky sustains itself through advertising and through subscription. They make their own money. And it's the way the BBC has to go. Why does the BBC, and why do people who work for the BBC or used to work for the BBC think the BBC is above being commercial? It belongs to us all, and the fact that we pay for it makes it ours. That's a good system. Why is the BBC above being commercial in your eyes, Mr. Dimbleby? It makes no sense to me. Why can't the BBC just show ads? Just show the ads, be like every other TV channel, make your own money. You're incentivized then to make better stuff. Because better stuff means more viewers, which means more advertising revenue. Every other TV channel in the world supports itself doing that. Why is the BBC above being commercial? I've never understood it. I've never understood why they think it's just some sacred thing that can't possibly go commercial. It's the BBC. The amount of product placement on the BBC make you sick. They're not above it. And don't forget, the BBC own, 100% own, UK TV networks. Dave Gold, all of that. Showing BBC shows that you long since paid for, with your TV licence fees, covered in ads and covered in sponsorship. They're not above it. They just want their cake and eat it, because the licence fee gets them, what was it, 3.7 billion with a B quid a year. Now, ITV work hard for all their money, making good stuff, buying in good stuff, getting advertisers on board, and they turn over about 1.4 billion. Big difference between 3.7 billion being gifted to you and working for 1.4 billion, isn't there? And that's why the BBC don't want to give it up. And that's why people like Mr. Dimbleby here defend it, because they've got a big pension in there. And if If there's problems with the BBC's funding, how is that going to affect all these pensions at the BBC? So the article goes on to talk about the new culture secretary and about the sale of Channel 4 and stuff like that. But less said about the government, the better at the moment, eh? So let's not go down that route. But you know, I thought from seeing that headline, I thought, oh, me and Dimbleby were going to be all BFF after this. No, he's completely missed the point, hasn't he? And you got to think, well, it says ex-BBC. I don't know if he still works for the BBC or not. I don't keep up with that kind of events, right? But if he's ex-BBC, why are you still defending them? There can only be one reason why you would want to protect the BBC's current funding model that gets it that amount of money. There can only be one reason, and that's your pension. Yeah, I wish I had a BBC pension. Rolling in it, I would have been able to retire to South America when I want to in 15 years' time. That's never going to happen on a state pension, is it? I don't know. Let me know what you think about this down in the comments below. And as always, thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, because that way, hopefully, I'll see you in another video again soon. Because I've only got one more week of sitting in my mum's dining room blurring the background out, and then I'm in my new place, new studio, business as usual, couple of videos a day. Ta-da.